Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the head coach of the Fighting Irish, Brian Kelly. Welcome. Long time no see.
Yeah, we had dinner last night.
Yes, we did. We did. Packed house at O'Rourke's. Last radio show, by the way, is next Thursday night, and it's always a very enjoyable time. And we get good questions, and you guys don't pull any punches, but Coach answers just about everything. This is really the first week this year you've had to go through a week where your team contributed to its own downfall. Does that make it different from other weeks in the way you approach the team?
Well, I contributed to it as well. You know, you win together, you lose together. Coaches, players, you know, we all needed to take accountability in that loss. And I think what's, you know, obviously disappointing is that we felt like, you know, we had the better football team. We gave that away. So what you do is you come back on Monday, you look at the things that you need to do together to get better at it. And I thought we had a great week of preparation, and we were outside in the elements, got a chance to experience some practice in 30-degree weather and snow squalls. So we'll be prepared for whatever our esteemed colleagues in the meteorology department tell us the weather's going to be like, because they told us snow today and it's sunny out. So who knows, maybe 60 degrees tomorrow.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be really nice.
I don't know, but this doesn't seem to be an exact science. So we're prepared for anything tomorrow.
Yeah, the joys of lake effect. Everybody who plays for Notre Dame football team is in the spotlight, but there's two big spotlights, the one that's on you and the one that's on your quarterback. And it is simple. You lost the game because you turned it over 5 times, and Everett was involved in all those turnovers, but they weren't necessarily completely all on him.
Well, if you win the Heisman Trophy, right, they give it to an individual.
Yes.
But there's 10 other players and sometimes 21 other players that contribute greatly to that player getting the Heisman. And I think everybody knows that, but it still goes to one individual. When you turn the football over, the quarterback is the guy that takes most of the blame for it. But there's also 10 other players on the offensive side of the ball that can contribute to that as well. And we had our share of players contributed to those turnovers. But having said that, the quarterback is responsible for the football. And Everett took full responsibility for those turnovers. But what we did this week is that we didn't point fingers. We went and looked at why those turnovers took place, what Everett has to do better, what our offensive line has to do better, our receivers, our running backs, our tight ends, and our coaches, so we eradicate those. And if we do that, you saw what happened in the second half. We had 330 yards of total offense and pretty much dominated the second half. So we do that for 4 quarters, everybody working together, not pointing any fingers, we'll be in pretty good shape.
And I do want to remind folks that 4 games into this season, Everett Golson owned the best interception percentage of any quarterback in Notre Dame history. He had thrown fewer interceptions through something like 17 games than any other Notre Dame quarterback. So this is a glitch for him in terms of interceptions. And you liked the Everett Golson that you saw in practice this week, and Everett Golson that you said in your presser yesterday that you'd never seen before.
Well, he took full control of the week. He was the leader out there. His actions, his body language, vocal, and you know, he's got a lot of pride. You know, you play this game because you love to play it, but you also play it because you want to be successful. And he's got an immense amount of pride, and he wants to go out and win for Notre Dame, and he wants to win the remaining 3 games that we have on our schedule, and he wants another shot at playing on that national landscape. And if he takes care of the things that he can take care of, he's going to be a tough guy to beat.
I think the answer to this next question was partially contained in that last answer, but when you're at Notre Dame, the one trophy you can win is the national championship trophy. You don't have a conference playoff game. You don't have a conference championship. So fans often asked, I've been asked this a lot this week, how do you keep the team motivated now that it appears, barring a cataclysmic reshuffling of college football, that a shot at a playoff bid is off the board? How do you keep them motivated to play at a high level?
Well, we're motivated by playing on Saturdays. I mean, each game for us is huge. I mean, we have 80,000 fans that pack into our stadium, that pack to the walk, that come out to the luncheons, that are at the pep rallies. I mean, it's exciting at Notre Dame regardless of the circumstances, whether you're 0-11 or 12-0, the atmosphere to play for Notre Dame each and every week is second to none. So every game that we play is an absolute important game for us. So playing Northwestern for us and the ability to go out there and represent Notre Dame and run out of that tunnel, our guys are extremely excited about that opportunity.
And we talked about this at the very first luncheon, so this isn't trying to rewrite history, but you went in to this season with a tremendously young football team, both just from a class standpoint and from an experience standpoint. So while you've lost a couple of tough games to quality opponents, a lot of progress has been made this year, and a lot of young guys have taken huge steps, the vast majority of whom will be back again for future years.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had one taken away from us, and we gave one away. I mean, I don't know how else you'd look at it, but that's kind of how I look at it. And, you know, and it's to two top, 10 teams. And we felt like that we matched up pretty good with both of them, and we learned a lot. We're a young team, and we got all these guys that are going to be back here for a number of years. I just point to Everett. He'll be back next year. He's already told me that he can't wait to continue to build on 14, but to get better for 15 as well. So this is a team that wants to make their mark in 14. Make no mistake about it. There's a lot to play for here. The thing that I said after 2012, the next step for this team was consistency. And we need a couple more wins now to get to 30 wins over the last 3 years. And to get to 10 wins over the last 3 years is the step that we wanted to make. That's the consistency step. And I want to make sure that our seniors leave 2014 with setting that next step in our program, and that's consistency as we move towards, competing for a national championship.
Now, certainly, this series, Notre Dame Northwestern, it's a great institutional series, two schools that have very similar thoughts on how to do their business. When you look at Northwestern's record, they're struggling this year, but when you look at the way they've played, including beating a good Wisconsin team, they've got nothing to lose tomorrow. Big series for them. They're going to come in here and play well, and they're capable of playing very well.
Big Ten team, Big Ten competition. So, anytime you're playing a Big Ten team, that you're going to get their very best. Obviously, Midwestern school, I have a great deal of respect for Coach Fitzgerald and his staff. Extremely well-coached football team. And again, their opportunity to come in here, and they want to get bowl eligible too, so it's important to their seniors and their team to come in here and get a victory. So it'll be a hard-fought game. These guys play for 4 quarters. They're physical. They showed how they can play on the road with a great win at Penn State. So, we don't have to, promote them. They're a tough opponent. They'll play physical, and it'll be a nice football game because they know what's at stake for them. They need this win.
What is your theme going to be on game day in terms of the message you give to your team before they take the field?
They know what they need to do. So we're not going to overstate the obvious. I think if we sat here, every one of us knows you can't turn the ball over 5 times. So I'm not going to walk in there and say, hey, you can't turn it over. They know that. Go play the game. Go play fast. Play aggressive. Play the game the way you knew how to play it, and enjoy the opportunity that you have to play here at Notre Dame. But I think, more than anything else, play fast, play with excitement, and if you do that, good things will happen.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Jack. Thank you.
Irish head coach Brian Kelly, everybody.